for example, Sima, একটু এখানে আসো।
Sorry,
So, for example, this is the scene. Okay? So now, what do you want? You want to solve the problem. Solution will come by default. What do you want? How patriarchy, in this argument, spectators are coming, replacing her, argument is happening between the spectators and oppressor character. All these arguments, okay, all these arguments will lead to an understanding about how patriarchy is acting. What is patriarchy? That means the people should understand, oh, this is the patriarchal mindset I have, which allows me to beat my wife. And the women might think, oh, due to my upbringing, I was brought up in a way that lot of oppressive patriarchal values, I think they are good. Accepting those values, I oppress myself. So I am responsible, I am taking the responsibility to maintain these oppressive social patriarchal norms. So this understanding is important, not to solve the problem. People should understand this patriarchal construct of mind, patriarchal construction of mind. And if they understand it, they will try to break it. When they will try to break it, that is actually to me, that is also an internal revolution and external revolution. Because you are trying to break your and deconstruct your patriarchal mindset. That is what we want. And I call it the journey from, I am going to close to the mic, I call it the journey, intellectual journey from effect to the cause, the concrete manifestation of patriarchy to what is patriarchy, how it is acting in me. So this is a journey from effect to the cause, from the result to the result, from experience to theory. This is the intellectual journey. And in this intellectual journey, we are together, actor and spectator. The stage is extended to the last spectator. We are all on stage and we are discussing this. So this is how theatre is social metaphor. Theatre is politics. Theatre is not a support service to a political action. Theatre is politics because we are discussing. We are discussing to understand our mental construct. So this is what I call the intellectual journey and the journey from effect to cause. Okay? So in this intellectual journey, you can see many other things happen actually. In this intellectual journey, we know something is unknown. I mean, knowing the unknown into the known. It's like this. We know many things, but what we know already, there are a lot of unknowns in what we know. So, what are those unknown things? It's like the Socrates said, I know, I don't know everything. Everybody thought they know everything, but Socrates found something unknown in what he knew. That's why he said, I am wise because I know I don't know everything. So it is very much of Socratized thought that even though domestic violence is the reality we live in, but there are a lot of unknown things into what we know, what we experience. You get my point? So you are surprised. So being wonder is something I say that those who never wondered did not live. Those who lived must have wondered. oh my God, I didn't know this. The person who have never experienced this, I did not know this. Oh, how surprised. He didn't live. You have to get surprised. Wonder is something, that not only helps you to understand, it actually breaks your ego also. It breaks your ego. It liberates you from your ego. Wonder is a very beautiful word. So, what I call this, in this intellectual journey, I call it a journey from knowing to understanding. We know it happens, now we are understanding it. So this knowing to understanding is basically giving you how patriarchy is working in this case. So you get to know you get to know the things more clearly, and you are actually thinking around the issues critically, and this critical thinking is scripting intellectual power. So theatre is all about scripting intellectual power. And the moment you have intellectual power, you cannot remain passive. You cannot remain passive. You have to be active. So that's what we observe. We started as activists, this theatre. So from the very beginning, acting and activism, the line between acting and activism was not very clear to us. We saw it same. So when you are intellectually powerful, then you become spect-activists. My teacher said, Augusto Boal said spectator, and we are now calling it spect-activists. The actors on stage, they will become activists. So it's a transformation from on stage to off stage. Then theatre becomes theatre as politics. And two more very interesting thing happens here. One is that you are evolving, no? The people usually, when you go to the people in the margin, very marginalized, they were asked to always follow. The politics say, well, you know nothing, depend on me, we will take you forward, we will look after you. So, being in that culture for ages, they think, no, we are not capable of thinking. Though sometimes they think very intellectually, as I was giving you the example in the morning today of this fisherman. He didn't know how intellectually he spoke. He himself didn't realize it. But to me, he was a powerful intellectual. So, they think they are not capable of thinking. So, when you give them this opportunity to speak, no, I can't say anything, you speak, please, you don't know. What do you think? I want to really, sincerely want to listen to you, please. If you tell them, that means you are offering the intellectual space, which is a comfort zone since the beginning of the civilization. People, there were no Sarji University or Sorbonne University. They took the civilization forward from agriculture, metal days, all things. We are here today. You see, most of the development were done by people who never went to the school. So the journey was intellectual journey, you see. So now, in today's society, we see some people are thinking we are not capable of thinking. That's sad. So when you are not capable of thinking, you think that is the construction of mind we want to break. How can you break it? Yes, we are extending the space, intellectual space. Please speak. We have to listen to you. So they are speaking. So when you are bringing them in this culture, like Jana Sanskriti, it has its consistent, continuous presence among the people. We don't withdraw ourselves after 10 performances, we will leave a village. No, we will keep performing in those villages for years after years. So that means we are breaking this construction that we are not capable of thinking. We are not capable of thinking. This construction is breaking. That is democratizing politics. If you want to democratize politics, you have to break this construction of mind that we are not capable of thinking. Now, this is about politics. But you can see, same time, one very important thing is happening that we must not ignore. What is that? An individual is experiencing the evolution from blind follower to critical thinker. The identity is changing. Yesterday, day before yesterday, I was a blind follower. Now, I am a critical thinker. So this evolution from blind follower to critical thinker is what I call internal evolution. It's an aesthetic experience of life. You are feeling the aesthetics. You are evolving. So this evolution is to me an internal evolution. I call it spirituality. When I experience this evolution, changing identity in me, I am evolving. This is spirituality. Spirituality is not about guiding you, prescribing you. Spirituality is something that helps you to evolve from one to another. So you are evolving. That is spirituality. So for me, politics and spirituality are like milk and its whiteness. We can't imagine black milk. Can you imagine milk black? Black milk? No. The moment we imagine milk, the whiteness comes. Without whiteness, you cannot imagine the milk. So this whiteness and milk, they are inseparable. Like politics and spirituality, it happens simultaneously. They are like milk and its whiteness. They are together. One identity. When you are developing, when you are scripting intellectual power, it's our politics to script intellectual power. At the same time, I am evolving as an intellectual. This is spirituality. And politics, they are together. The moment they are separated, if you separate them, politics could be dangerous, spirituality could be dangerous. There are a lot of Indian Babas and gurus available now in Europe. You know, they teach spirituality and take, you can see, it's a business. It's religion business, huh? But it is not. They could be dangerous. But when they are one, that is the one we are searching for. That is the one theatre can give you, and you can humanize the human society. Right? And another thing happens, that's very direct. Like when we find the oppressive character on stage, for example, the patriarchy is very common everywhere in the world, it is found. So I am always giving the example of patriarchy. When an oppressive husband is beating his wife or oppressing in many other ways, sometimes the audience in the spectator there, he thinks, oh, it's me on the stage. It's me. The character looks like me. I do this to my family often. This is how I act in my real life. So the moment he is thinking it's me, then actually he is becoming the spectator of his own actor. He is a spectator of how he acts in his real life. Observer observed is same, one. Well, so the moment he finds, oh, there is an oppressor in me, then what happens? The human being in me fights against that oppressor. So he experiences a war inside, the war between oppressor and human being. So we all have oppressor in us. We all have vices and virtues, good and bad. None of us are perfect. If you think I am perfect and I can guide you, that's wrong. So our politics, unfortunately, this is absent in our left politics. I am a left thinker. You see, I am coming from a left politics. But I think this is the fundamental lack in our politics. We don't see ourselves. We are never spectator of our own act. So we don't experience the war inside us. So when you feel the war inside you, that is spiritual exercise. That is spirituality. We have to constantly feel the war inside. We are constantly evolving. We are evolving and evolving. Every moment we are evolving. So the agricultural workers also evolves. He experiences when he finds, when a spectator finds him on stage, he evolves. He evolves. And this evolution can humanize the character. And that's how we can say theatre can humanize human beings. Because it can humanize us. And therefore we have the right to humanize the society. If we are not truly humanized, it is very difficult to humanize the society. So we have to first humanize ourselves. That is also, to me, political as well as spiritual. So, coming to the next point, well, if we have to do this, for example, if we are, you are trying to close this?
No, because of the noise.
Because of the noise, yes.
Sorry.
Okay. So now, if you see, in order to do this, I say theatre can make you experience the war inside. Theatre can construct the intellectual power. Theatre can break some oppressive mental construction of mind, all that I said. And theatre is for argument. One thing I didn't say, I should have said. That is, when I say argument, you must think that argument means you are actually acting against, you are fighting against each other. With your point and her point is contradicting, they are contradicting. So if your point and her point are contradicting, there is an argument, and that can probably create an isolation, alienation. No, it is actually fights alienation. Because the argument, when you don't try to win, suppose Anna is saying something, it happens in many forms. You can see, Anna is speaking to me. I am not emptied myself to take what she is telling, to keep it in my. I didn't empty myself. So when she is saying something, I am actually rehearsing. While listening to her, I am rehearsing as to what to say soon after she finishes her point. So the moment she finishes her point, I would say, yes, okay, you see, what you said is correct, but you see, if you look at from like this, so I have to establish my intellectual power, how intellectual I am, in order to complement or contradict. That means we are not listening, we are actually rehearsing. So in appearance, they are a dialogue. In appearance, that is a dialogue. But in actual terms, they were multiple monologues. So many times, we experience multiple monologues that appears as a dialogue, but actually they are multiple monologues. Because we are not truly listening to each other. You see? So, when I am talking about the argument, it does not mean multiple monologues. argument means we are not winning. I am not trying to win against others. I am not trying to establish my point. So there is no winner, no loser.